We'll call to order regular meeting. A roll call. Sue, are you there? I think you said yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Derek?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Alright. Approval of the agenda as presented and or amended.
Motion for approval?
I was gonna suggest maybe looking at 11 and 12, if we're not gonna do outside meters, maybe we should talk about that before we do anything on, we might wanna amend what we put on 11 if we decide not to do meters. So I suggest 12 before 11.
12 talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a suggestion, move 5 above 4.
Okay. Yeah. Any further discussion, adjustments, modifications? Hearing none. Joel?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Alright, so, number 3, open forum.
Brett?
Hey. How we doing, guys? My name is
Good.
Brett Graham with American Pride Customs, LLC, based out of Nevada, Iowa. I was brought to my attention you guys were going to be doing citywide cleanup here coming up. I guess me and my business partner, Michael Tracta, who lives here in town, wanted to bring to you guys about bringing dumpsters in, free of charge to you guys, free of charge to the city for doing metal scrap. Appliances, anything like that. You guys tell me how many dumpsters you think you might need. I can get them here, I can get them in here, free of charge for you guys, free of charge for the city.
You got a card?
I don't at the moment, we're working on printing
Just
more
leave
off.
your information or
Will do. You know, I'd like to do, you know, more of the trash and stuff too, but sadly my guy that I get my dumpsters from, he doesn't do landfills like that, so, you know, but if I can at least help get people's old appliances, stuff like that out of the city, out of their backyards, whatever, help make the city look better, I'd be appreciative, and I know you guys would be appreciative of having us do that. So, I appreciate you guys' time, I guess please let us know.
Also on top of that, if you don't know who I am, I'm Robert Barton's grandson. I live with Grandpa Barton. If there's a way to post it on the website for the city or whatever to say if you have scrap metal, there's always a dumpster in my backyard. Just bring it to the dumpster. If you don't have the ability to lift it and put it in the dumpster, just leave it next to the dumpster. I will take care of it as soon as I get it. As soon as it's there.
My dumpster guy can, you know, comes 1 to 2 times a week to pick up the dumpsters as we get them full. So
right now we've got a 20-foot. Is it a 20-foot dumpster in the backyard right now?
it's a 20-foot by 6-foot tall dumpster there right now. That's about half full. You know, he was wanting to come pick it up on Monday, but sadly
that's just metal scrap.
That's just metal scrap.
Metal,
you know, appliances, stuff like that. So
Car parts.
The only thing we can't
cars.
take is TVs.
Yeah, that's the only thing we don't take is car or TVs. But old junk cars, let us know. We'll come get them. We'll haul them away for free. We don't need the title. We can do it all. And I'm right here in town, so.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate
just a new small business here in town. Plus we do landscaping and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
So thank you guys.
Do you want to
Thank
know
you.
your info?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I'm with them. In the next one, just so you know.
Kaylin?
Could I, one with it for these gentlemen.
Yes.
If you wanna be listed in the welcome wagon, which is a listing of all businesses in town, if that's okay, we'll put you in the,
Absolutely.
on that
Absolutely.
list. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We have like 3 different numbers. We have my number, my wife's number, and his number on our Facebook page. It's American Pride Customs with a K. You give her name is Kayla. You just give Kayla a call. Tell us where the where the metal's at, whatever.
Not even just metal, like landscaping.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So
Our
We're
bottom,
listed in
they're
that.
kind of like an all around. We're an all around handyman service.
our
is what I
little
try to provide with
our
this. So.
our catchphrase is we'll do anything legal.
Come on, Hagan, you wanna laugh at that?
Standing beside the officer, that's a good thing to say.
I was thinking that too, he knows.
All right, thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's all right. My name's Keelan. I live over at 429 Ashford. I've been having some drainage issues in my backyard. I brought some pictures. I didn't know if that was pertinent, if you guys wanted that or not. I noticed about 3 years ago, I've lived here since, I believe it was July of 2014 I moved in. During heavy rains, I'm gonna have water problems in the backyard. I expect that. But about 3 years ago, I noticed that the alley started to accumulate water, and I noticed I started hearing a sump pump running when I was out in the backyard doing stuff. And over the last several years, it's gotten progressively worse. 2 years ago, the area around the power pole, I used to mow all of the alley area to the east of my property too. I couldn't get around the power pole anymore because of water. I've got John Deere 420, and I got it stuck a couple times, and trying to have the wife ride on it while I'm trying to yank it out by hand. It's less than ideal. So I switched to push mowing it, trying to just help out, keep it cleaned up. And it's progressively gotten worse to the point where my yard, I don't know if you want to see these or not.
Is it the one that's on the corner? You're not, are you on the corner now?
Yeah, yep. Ashford and 210.
Is that you?
That is me, yep.
Okay.
So that has been that way for about 5 months now. And I've been hoping it was going to move down. This photo right here is actually a drainage pipe that ruptured up in the backyard. So I didn't know if that's something the city put in at some point in time, or if that's something that some previous owner put in. Like, I've only been there since 2014, so I don't know what was done in the past. And it seems like it's pretty close to the surface for like drainage work. It's only a couple inches down. So I didn't know what needed to be done there. That last photo is the sump pump hose itself coming straight into the alley.
Except for your neighbors.
Yeah, and like, I'm not accusing them. I know a lot of people have lived in that property over the last 5 to 10 years.
Is that the neighbor to the south or?
The east. Yeah. That sump pump hose comes straight into the alley there, right by that power pole. And it's just been filling into that low spot in the alley, and now it's gotten to a point where it just keeps accumulating in my yard, and it's going to become a mosquito hazard. We got enough mosquito problems in town as it is. So I just didn't know.
So it looks like there's an intake in your backyard.
Yeah, that white pipe there.
Yep. And my guess is that probably needs clean out. And Tony was working on having somebody come in for wood lawn, so we might just add that to the list.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wes, do you see anything else other than that?
Yeah, no, I know that, I think there is a pipe that comes down from across 210 down
So
in that
that blue
area
house
too,
to
so
east of me?
Yeah.
I think that makes
This
sense.
is
It's
the
probably,
fence line.
if it's getting worse, it's probably
Straight
getting
Across
run
from
up
that
over
power
time.
pole, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
So,
When you look down
It's a
that
bowl right
alleyway
there.
there,
It's a bowl.
that like mud puddle,
Yep.
the other
it's
side of the
right
alley
in there.
comes up, so.
Yep.
Alright.
If you're gonna clean out drains, can you check the one on 6th Street?
We already did.
Okay, 'cause we had a lake here, just cut yesterday, day before.
Yep, we did what we could with that one. Alright,
Didn't work.
we do what we can.
Yep.
Alright, next.
Perry.
Yeah, I just wanted to express my interest in just volunteering where I can, and especially in the financial area, the budgets, financial reporting, anything like that. I've appreciated the time doing that for the 2 or 3 months, so just wanted to, I know everybody loves the auditor's letters that come out every year, so certainly happy to help with those items on there, especially the more financially related ones. So just wanted to throw my name out there and availability. Happy to do that.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Barry.
Sweet.
Mister. Yeah. Want to talk about the dirt bike racetrack next to my place. Now, I was happy, elated to see that the guy on 7th Street with the green dirt bike that's been doing it for a year and a half, his house sold. They've been slowly moving out. So I thought, okay, we're getting rid of that green dirt bike. The guy that takes his little kids about this tall on the little blue quad runner onto the streets all over town. Yay, getting rid of him. And somebody moves across the street from me and his 12-year-old, 10-year-old has a dirt bike that just up and down the city property alongside my house. And all night long, jumps off the pad, the cement pad that's by the building, by the water tower. So get going on that and jump off of it. I got videos or footage, it's not video anymore. Got pictures. If anybody wants to see them, I have called the sheriff's department. But it took a while to get down here. So by then, the guy on 7th Street's an adult and he takes his little kids onto the street. He also took this other guy's kid on his dirt bike onto the streets.
Okay.
And I heard from other people that they're all over the park, soccer field, bike track, bike trail, all that stuff.
What's your usual time?
Well, evening, somewhere, if it's a real nice day, about 3:34, he's out there. Then he may take like for 40 minutes, then he's gone. Lunch, supper, snacks, munchies, and then he's out there again. Doug, you've heard it. You got pictures.
I've got some pictures as well, yes.
And
I don't have photos, but I've heard it.
I can't be the only guy. I've got video that when I called dispatch, I just said, "Can you hear it?" He's, "Oh yeah, I can really hear it." It's hard to enjoy the deck. That little bike is loud. And he gets going. And one day he built a ramp, took it over there, and he started jumping off this ramp. So, if he gets hurt, what happened? Is the city liable? What? He's tearing up where it's mud, where the sump pump goes, and it never drains.
Yeah.
He's getting a nice path there. It's kind of annoying.
Yep.
But I got a bunch of footage if anybody's interested.
I called the sheriff's office a couple weeks ago and had them come down, and it's in the report in here that they were down here for a trespassing complaint because they're not allowed to operate on city property.
And I called 2 days later, I think,
So
and talked to dispatch.
best I can tell you is please continue to call. I mean, I'm not in town all the time. If you're there and you're seeing it, let them know. They'll get here when they can, and now that they're aware of the time frame,
Yeah.
they can figure
Well,
it out.
if a crime happens and there's security footage of it, isn't this footage just as good?
Maybe. Yep, if he wants
I
to.
noticed I've been here about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
About 3 to 5, and then later on after dinner time
We're usually
usually.
ripping on them pretty good too.
And what's the address that this is
Well,
the area?
It's the Water Tower Park area,
Okay.
right behind the 6th Street.
right beside my house.
Okay.
Like I said, the main culprit from all last year, house is pending, and he's been moving stuff out, so I haven't heard anything, but the last time he was out, he was doing donuts on that gravel beside that pad. The construction people last year had to tell him to cool it because of all the trenches and stuff. And he was out there with no lights and
I'm guessing it's probably not registered, and
no headlights, no tail lights, no brake lights.
helmets on the kids.
Kids, yes, but these kids
Yeah, small.
are like this, and there's two of them on this little quad runner, and then he's got his 1-year-old on the fuel tank. And
I've
you
seen,
don't take,
I've seen it going down Sixth Street with 2 young children on that dirt bike.
Okay.
it's not hard to, when I called the second time that night, because the deputy showed up. I think it took like 45 minutes. When he showed up, I could hear him coming down Metcalf, which the guy does. Once he takes the kids all over town, he comes down Metcalf and then down 7th. And your deputy was coming back through that new project area. And I told dispatch, just have your deputy stop. And apparently she didn't get to him in time because he just kept driving.
Okay. Yeah,
Otherwise,
sometimes
he
there's a
would see-
communication delay
Yeah,
on the radios, but
otherwise he would have seen him.
yeah.
But they have moved. Now I'm worried about the kid, that 12-year-old across the street.
Okay.
Alright,
And
Thank you.
shoot BB guns.
thank you. And next, that's it? Okay. Well, we'll move on to the sheriff's report.
All right.
I think you kinda got it.
I will
I
forward.
think we already moved on.
Nice transition. I will forward all that information off as well. I know that I work on nights on 3rd shift, and our 2nd shift guys in the afternoon. Both of those shifts have been running a little short at the moment. We've got 2 people that we've just hired. Once they get through training, then we'll be better staffed in the afternoons and evenings. So unfortunately, the personnel at this point is kind of a challenge that we're facing. But I will pass that on for when they're doing town time to keep an eye out in that area.
Well, 3rd shift was always the fun shift for me. So
I agree. Doing it for 6 years, I love it. Yeah, like, I guess last week I mentioned the speed trailer. We're not quite ready to pull it out yet, but I don't know if you were able to discuss some areas that you're interested in.
I think anywhere on Main Street, 210,
Yeah,
any residential area, close to school.
Baldwin.
Yeah.
You guys can put it in my yard if you want to.
Where at?
429 Ashford.
Perfect. Yeah, because that's the other challenge with it is we have to park it legally.
Yep.
So with some of those, especially on 210 on the east side of town, that shoulder's
It's very, very.
non-existent. So if we do get permission to park it on somebody's property, that helps.
Yep, you can put it in my yard.
What was it again?
429 Ashford.
429 Ashford. Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah, look for the
For
pond.
the pond.
Look for the lakefront property.
Sounds good. But yeah, if that helps a ton, that way we have a place to put it, and I'll pass that on to Deputy Schrader. But yeah, it's kind of like anticipated was the 210 and the main drags and Baldwin and so.
Any new sheriffs ever think about moving to town? I know that always seems to help. I know Grundy County has like 2 or 3, or one almost in another town or something.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that's hard to mandate, but
Well, we'd welcome them, but
We
it's a little
got-
cheaper living here than
we
most
got
places.
one of our new ones lives in Collins,
Yeah.
and the other fella is a Blackhawk County deputy currently, and he'll be moving down
Plenty of
here.
houses for sale now.
Yeah.
And we're building.
well, Stark mandated that they lived in the countywide towns.
Yeah.
Because Bill Thomas had to move and a couple others.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You guys have a good night.
Anybody else have anything else for the deputy? Sorry, before you leave. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
One thing before you left,
Yes, sir.
and I'm
Alright.
You
I
done?
don't want to interrupt you.
Alright, we will move on to consent agenda.
Bad
Yeah.
We'll do it all in one motion, well.
Yep.
I would do approval of the consent agenda. I did have that turned out.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Sorry.
Very good. Hearing none. Sue? Joel?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Number 6, discussion of possible action on the proclamation April 11th through 17th, 2026 as the week of the young child. I gotta find it. Give me a second. Page 31. 31.
Yeah.
Alright. City of Maxwell, Iowa, proclamation, Week of the Young Child. Whereas the first year of the child's life are the period of the most rapid brain development and lay the foundation for all future learning. And whereas children are born with a genetic blueprint, but it is the interaction with caring adults, peers, and their environment that shape their language, literacy, cognitive, social, emotional, and physical development. And whereas parents and caregivers are children's first teachers, and whereas high-quality early childhood programs prepare children to succeed in school, to earn higher wages, and to live healthier lives, and whereas communities share the responsibility along with parents and educators for nurturing and educating children, and whereas Story County policies and investment that support families, caregivers, and early childhood programs are essential to help transform young children's lives. I therefore, Dale Higgins, Mayor of the City of Maxwell, Iowa, do hereby proclaim April 11th through the 17th, 2026 as the Week of the Young Child. Do hereby urge all citizens to recognize that by investing in our children today, we are securing the collective future of our community. And did you guys want to speak?
Thank you for having us. I'll speak first. My name is Chuck Galarski, and I'm with the Ames Morning Rotary Club. And thank you for adopting this proclamation. You are helping to spread the word about how critical children's early years are for lifelong learning and well-being. Like you, we want every child to be prepared for future success. Over 20 years, the Ames Morning Rotary and Raising Readers started out the Reach Out and Reading program to encourage reading and bonding. We still provide books that are given to children when they attend their doctor's offices for their first 5 years of their life. And to date, in this county, the Ames Morning Rotary has given over 30,000 books. So when the children come for their appointment, they want to go to the doctor. They don't think about getting a shot. They think about getting a free book. This year we are launching a countywide early literacy program, and I'll let Raising Readers speak.
Hi, I'm Diana Claus. I'm on the board for Raising Readers in Story County. And I just wanted to tell you a little tiny bit about our organization. It's 25 years old. It's a nonprofit based in Ames. And our mission is to support language and literacy development of young children by providing books, caregiver guidance, and early childhood programs. And one amazing fact I wanted to leave with you, because this astounded me when I heard that neuroscientists have determined that a baby develops 1 million connections per second. So you can imagine if you have a parent that is responsive to that baby, that's really going to keep all of the development going. So I want to thank you so much for having us. And
I'm Jerry Hyde, and I'm the Raising Readers in Story County president this year. And so I'm the third person, and I'm going to talk about the 3T, anytime is 3T's time, and tuning into your child, talking more, and taking turns, and giving the child time to respond to how we're talking with them, and tuning in is a very important part, and that's how those neurons, the synapses in the brain are developed. And so I'm going to leave a couple posters. We've already given one to the librarian next door. We also have a 3T's postcard, which is the parents can sign up for the 3T's. There's some training videos on there that they can go through and help them in that conversation that they have with their child and going through those processes. We also have a program, which you already have one of these on your door, Step Into Storybooks. It's happening this Saturday from 10 to 1 at the North Grand Mall, where we bring books alive so those children and those caregivers can also interact during at those different stations. And we have libraries throughout the county that are participating, as well as different agencies in Ames and Story County. And it's at the North Grand Mall because that's where our office is at. We're right across the the aisle from Planet Fitness by JCPenney's. We have an interactive time play area that kids can come in there. We have several of our programs that happen there. We serve children through before they're born through 8 years old and older, and that play area is for that, situated for that. So we invite you to come to see and visit us at the mall, and we invite you to come and have some fun with books. That's for all ages. So and every child will receive a free book as well. So books in the home are very important. So I will hand these to you to distribute, and then if we could, we'd also love to have a picture with all of you in the proclamation.
Wendy, got the camera?
Got it. I don't know how you do that, but
Should we go over there?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not giving a picture?
Nope.
Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you.
I guess I am.
I just slide my
I thought
line back.
I thought it was just a mayor thing. Wait a minute, put a phone up there for Sue.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Thank you. It's an honor to be
Thank
here.
you.
Yes, and we look forward to having more events.
Thank you very
So,
much.
Very good.
Sarah, have you talked to the medical clinic down here about getting books, or?
Well,
I got it in.
Oh, okay. Well, let me give you my name,
Yeah.
and we'll let, if we don't already have books,
Is it necessary limits?
I would hope that we would, but if we don't, I will make sure that something happens.
Is that
And then we won't have posters
I have to go check on that, but
I'll give you my name, and if you could
I'm
give
the
me
attorney, I
your
can ask
name.
my transportation people. if they want to know that. I use it, it can be an email account.
Okay.
It might be a county designation. To where it can't be.
Thank you, it's great meeting you.
And now let me put your name in now. Pick it along
Story
back to
County
you.
Medical Center.
Yeah.
Maxwell.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Alright,
Enjoy.
move on to discussion and possible action regarding chapter 57, dangerous and vicious animals, code of ordinance.
I guess I'll start, and I won't even take 5 minutes tonight. How's that? I helped rewrite, I guess, the current city ordinance, and observing how it works, I guess I think it's time that we maybe need to improve it. So I talked to Steve Gass because I don't know the proper way to reword a dog ordinance, and Steve and I worked to get one written that. Derek, if I speak for you inappropriately, let me know, but I think Derek has looked at it and thinks it's fine. The reason behind it to me is simple. I don't think one person should have the ability to decide the fate of a dangerous animal, specifically dog, I guess. And I don't think they should be asked to make that decision by themselves. Between speaking directly, emailing, texting, and making a Facebook query, 28 people out of 28 people have yet to tell me they would want one person only, and in our case the mayor, making such a decision. I also asked our town vet, Dr. Christy Gordon, which she preferred, and she said it should be a council majority vote. She also said most of the animal shelters she's dealt with when making that decision do not have only one person deciding a dog's fate. So I believe that's a strong indication that our residents would prefer this change be made from, in our case, a mayor-only decision to a majority of the council decision. And by the way, asking several past council members, they said it used to be a council vote. I also think it's safe to say a decision made by a majority of the elected council members should or would be accepted more readily by both the person bringing the complaint and the owner of the animal. This group type decision should go a long way toward eliminating possibly a person having breed prejudice. Some people might not like Rottweilers, some people might not like Staffordshire Terriers or whatever. And it eliminates that if you have a group people. It might eliminate personality disputes between the complainant or the owner. And it might should eliminate one person's misinterpretations of the ordinance. So, I don't know if you were handed a copy of it, I hope so. In essence, what it says, when somebody brings a complaint, they have to bring it to Wendy, to the city hall, and then a hearing is held, and then at the hearing, both parties or anybody that wants to input is allowed to do so. At the end of the hearing, the council either can say, we support the complaint and it's dangerous, and then they have the 3-day right to deal with the animal, or the council can say, we disagree, the complaint isn't founded or grounded on anything that makes any sense, so we dismiss it. Or they could say, kind of a revision, we agree there's a problem, but we don't think getting rid of the dog is best, so we can do something else, like fine the individual or whatever else I guess the council wants to. So that's kind of a quick summary of the change, but it eliminates the hearing that currently we have. So right now, for example, if my dog was accused of being dangerous and the mayor decided it was, I have the right to come into the council and say, I want to have a hearing, I disagree. But the person bringing the complaint right now, if they disagree with it, they don't have the right to do anything. It's kind of one-sided. So this totally eliminates the callback hearing, I guess I'm going to call it, and just says it's in front of the council, 5 people decide, and the decision is made and acted upon.
Rich?
Yes.
This is Sue. Yeah, in reading through this, I found a couple of things that you might want to change in the ordinance. In number 2, the last sentence, report on the next regular council meeting agenda for action by the council.
Change it how?
She wants to add the word agenda.
Oh, I don't have a copy of
Yeah.
that. If that makes sense, you guys.
Add the word agenda there. And then number 4, the 2, 3, 4, 5th sentence down, vicious animals shall not be required. Okay, no, next one down. Physical harm or death to any person or animal is what I thought it should be changed to.
So she's adding the word to? So you're adding the word to, or what?
Yeah, after it says previously caused serious physical harm or death to any person, and I added to any person or animal should be in there, because I know there's one dog that killed a cat.
I'm okay with adding the word to. I haven't had any thought about that part being changed to automatically include killing another animal. That to me is something I would rather the council decide whether they want to add that or not.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up, that I thought that would be a good way to cover things that have happened in the past.
I guess I just, thinking through it, I'm wondering if another animal is killed and you just state it like that.
If you were out walking your dog and a dog attacked and killed your dog, you would want that included in that.
Right, but if you just say another animal, what if the dog kills a rabbit? You know, I mean seriously, that's stretching it, but.
You're going to extreme, but it's pet.
What if that person's cat was loose and went out of the yard into your yard and your dog attacked that cat.
That would be a different story. That would be on their property. It's not on public property. And it's not a dog running loose if it's contained in a backyard, fenced-in yard.
No, what I'm saying is your dog's legal, alright? It's in your contained yard, and that illegal cat comes over to your yard, and your dog kills that cat.
Well, then they have no case because it's on their property, and that cat should not have been on the property.
Okay.
But this is.
But is that a vicious dog
this
or?
This is on public property.
The ordinance doesn't state
It
that
doesn't
versus private.
It doesn't define that. The ordinance needs to be reworked. It's my opinion. Especially the end of section 4, where it discusses in the case where the city shall cause the animal to be immediately seized and impounded. If seizure and impoundment are not possible with risk of serious physical injury or harm, the animal shall be killed. There's definitely different terminology that should be utilized there, as well as it needs to be identified, because in this particular situation where you just described, that's a situation where if I don't feel comfortable entering that backyard because the dog's there that just killed another animal that was in his own yard, this is still giving that authority. So that needs to be clarified. Additionally, section 5 constitutes a simple misdemeanor. That needs to be tied to an Iowa code. So if it doesn't have an Iowa code to it, it can't apply as simple misdemeanor. It can, it's just, there's no basis. There's no basis in law for anybody. The council's gonna be the one that's gonna have to bring that charge. And if the council is bringing the charge of a simple misdemeanor, there's no law that says that they have the authority to give that simple misdemeanor. So we're better off either doing a civil infraction through the city, which the city is authorized through the Iowa code to do, or find an Iowa code that allows for that misdemeanor charge to be filed.
I'm fine with changing it to a civil infraction and making it less complicated. I'm fine with that.
And just clarifying areas, locations. Anybody opposed to a rewrite and readmittance? Or do you guys want to make amendments to this and consider this the first reading? Either way, I need somebody to make a motion to do something with this, because right now we have nothing.
I move that we consider this a first reading.
With the, I'll second, just so we can discuss.
Okay, so she just made a motion on the first reading as is, so.
So Sue, you've made some amendments to it already. What other?
Yes.
Were you agreeable to the other terms?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I would just need to figure out which ones.
Can I ask, is this proper to ask, is the consensus that you guys would agree ultimately we should change it back to being a council-wide decision as opposed to a single person decision?
I don't think there's any concern or consideration about that. I think it's just the verbiage and the layout of it.
So that point of it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's any contention here.
Okay.
No. I would like to probably go through and reword this a little bit more than what it currently is, just so that we do have this put in place, and then in a year or two or something, if something pops up that we could have fixed at this point, it's not gonna cost us another $200 to go through and republish
And that is the next thing I need to bring up to the council is every time we bring one of these up, it's $200. So we will have to redo this again for another $200. So we're gonna be $400 into an ordinance that isn't passed yet. So keep that in mind, bringing ordinances moving forward as we are negative in that count right now.
So what do we have to read? How do we have to say number 5, failures to comply with?
I think you just make it a civil infraction, which
Civil
just
infraction.
carries a $750 fine as it outlined by
instead
the
of simple misdemeanor.
Yep.
Instead of simple misdemeanor, yeah.
And then the wording
I think the last part is just semantics and identification of locations or properties.
On part 4?
Part 4.
Cause they want animals, it's including if we're gonna add animals.
Yep. Good point.
Can we classify it as pets?
Domestic animals?
Domesticated animals?
That's probably the easiest way, because a domestic animal is identified in the Iowa code through definition, so,
Okay.
As long as you identify what's something that's
Anything.
already defined,
Yeah.
it makes it legally binding.
One other thing to potentially consider, if we're adding domestic animals in behind person, can a vicious dog cause property damage? Can we do person, domesticated, pet,
Well,
or property?
In essence, animal is property in Iowa, so technically yes.
But say
But
you're
it
trying
does
to
damage
avoid.
to somebody else's property too.
Yeah.
And the use of force in the state of Iowa, you're able to protect your property, so whether it's an animal or something else.
So does it need included in that?
And wouldn't wanna include livestock.
But is chickens in someone's backyard considered domesticated animal?
Is a chicken domestic?
Be a livestock though.
It's livestock. And then
That's why I'm asking if we wanna add that too.
You would have to clarify the protection of that property.
Okay.
Or horses, or goats, because all of those are on our property in town.
True. So if we
We'll
include
have
all
livestock.
livestock.
Yep.
Okay. So after person, we would go through and add, change the last or between def and any to 2, add domesticated animals and also livestock. Sue, does that sound good?
There's property in there, we're going to include property.
I feel like we should, just to cover our bases with it, because even if an animal does not strike a person or their pet, but causes damage to, say they're riding a bicycle and chews a hole through the tire or something, that doesn't mean that.
Chew a hole through the fence.
Right.
Or door.
Or door.
Or a door, yeah.
I've replaced the door.
So,
My dog lived on dishes.
does
Bitchy dogs.
that still follow along with guidelines that you were trying to accomplish with this?
Yeah, to me, that's a point, I really don't have an opinion on it. I mainly just wanted to get it off of one person's decision, so whatever the council thinks is best for that, I'm just game with it.
Sue, it sounds like you have some amendments. Were you willing to adopt the amendments to your previous motion?
Yes.
I'll still second that.
Right. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Doug?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance complete.
Does that
There's
save
no
you another
waiver.
$200?
Saves us from reissuing another 200 for it.
Yeah, okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
There's no waiver of second, so I'll need to go on the next meeting, please.
We can put second and third together then at that
You
time.
can request at the second to waive the third.
Yeah.
Number 8, discussion and possible action on general fund 2027 budget and resolution 2026-13, a resolution amending resolution 2015-03 for trust transfers. Motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Sorry.
Motion to approve 2026-13,
Yes.
and a second by
Derek.
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
Open for discussion.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only,
I was just gonna make you guys vote on it. It was something.
the only thing I'm curious about with this is, does there need to be any sort of approval through library board? Through any of the current monies? Because I know library board is set up differently than what fire board or any of the other entities are. But with the current or future budget that we are working on, I think the city retains the rights, but for the existing money, might have to have approval through library board on usage.
My understanding is the board is an advisory to the council.
Okay.
Council controls all city funds. Wendy? Okay.
Correct, yes.
Okay. So the stipulation of the fire board is, that is again, a agreement between the fire departments and the council. The council still has ultimate authority.
Gotcha. Alright, no more questions on that.
Okay. Alright, hearing nothing else, Joel?
Yes.
Yes.
Sue? Sue?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Thank you, Ken?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Alright, motion is approved. On to number 9, discussion and possible action on resolution 2026-19, a resolution amending resolution 2025-41, authorizing transfers and approved by the fiscal 2026 budget.
And I would like a chance to look at all the transfer notes Melissa sent. So if you wanna table this, that's fine with me, cause I haven't had a chance to go through them.
That makes it easier on you.
It's not an emergency. What I found, and I'll give a quick clarification to the council, which is why this is on there. If you look at page 41, line item 001-910-6910, 2 line item 016-910-4830, $50,000 to make a 2026 scheduled Tahoe payment. We transferred an additional $50,000 this year to pay for Tahoe that we paid for 5 times. I'm done paying for the Tahoe. This is killing my budget. I don't have enough funds to make the budget this year. I need that $40-some thousand back in our general fund.
So I'll make a motion that we take number 9, this resolution, and table it to next meeting, next month's meeting.
Or the budget hearing.
Which one makes it easier?
Can we do it at the budget hearing?
Yeah, as long as it's on the agenda.
Okay.
Budget?
Sure.
Next weekend? Next week, I mean?
No, it's 2
2
weeks.
weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, further discussion? Derek?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Ken?
Yeah.
Joel?
Yes.
Doug? Table till next 2 weeks. Number 10, discussion and possible action on, scheduling the citywide garage sale, citywide cleanup day, and rescheduling the November council meeting due to Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, fair enough.
Based on the fact that they've got rodeos, I suggest we move it back a week, making the 13th be garage sales, and then we always follow the next week with the cleanup day. Do that on the 20th of June.
Rodeo, so I'm just gonna throw this one out there. It gets hot fast in June. And you guys are the ones hauling the trash. The rodeo is, I assume, in the evening, and we do this in the morning on a Saturday. So does the rodeo matter?
No.
Only thing would be additional traffic down there,
And
with
extra
trailers
people.
and stuff coming in and out. would be the only thing for additional traffic.
We're usually done by 11 o'clock.
11 is the
Yeah.
latest.
Okay.
So
I had some
13th.
people tell me after the last one that the school getting out Memorial Day, I'd have had a garage sale if we'd have had another week. That's part of the
Okay, so
reason
we
that-
need to slide it back a week, maybe like the 13th, rather than going 2 weeks. Let them do
Yeah,
the garage
yeah.
sale on the 6th, and then we do the cleanup on the 13th.
Well, that's what we always do.
Okay, so you wanna push it to 13th and 20th?
That was what I was suggesting.
Okay.
I'm not available
Garage
on the
sale,
20th.
13th.
Just putting that out.
You what?
So I'm not available on the 20th, just putting that out, so.
Okay. I would have said hands.
Yeah.
If you
Once
kept
you're on
it-
back.
If you kept it at 6 and 13, that would've been fine, but the 20th I'm not available, so.
Doesn't matter.
And the 27th I'm not available.
27th I'm not available. But that's not one of the dates, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just throwing that out there.
So we're saying the 13th garage sale, 20th cleanup,
Works for me.
and 4th of November, make it the first weekend, first Wednesday for,
Or
the
we just
meeting.
go to the 18th.
Doesn't matter. Right in the middle. Mayor suggested the 18th, everybody okay with that?
Cancel November.
Just forget November.
We could do that too. Alright, 18th.
Okay. 13th and 20th. Joey will have to do extra work next year.
Well, and I was gonna say, I'm available on evenings, any other evenings too, so if we wanted to move it to a Thursday or whatever, if we wanted to, still have it that same week, just move it to Thursday instead, or
Okay.
whatever.
You guys wanna do it on the 12th?
So, we don't have to hold the Wednesdays anymore.
Okay.
Sure.
12th it is.
Alright. Get that, Wendy?
Got it.
Perfect.
Is that a motion?
That was a motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Sue?
Would the deadline still,
Go ahead.
would the deadline still be the Friday before?
For
Yes.
that meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Doug?
Yeah.
Tim?
Yes.
When you looked like you had a question.
Did you want me to reach out if they offered a free dumpster instead of Car Country? Put it on the agenda, I know we can't act on it tonight.
Yeah, we can add it to the agenda for next month.
Okay,
What's Car Country charges?
600, roughly.
I like free.
Good price.
Like legal though.
Nothing's free.
Well, we need proof of insurance.
Okay. So number 12 now?
I'm sorry.
11.
No, we switched
12. 12 now.
12, that's right.
However, Mindy,
mm-hmm,
will you be available on cleanup day for us? Typically, we don't have a clerk, but we should have somebody to collect funds, cause I'm not sure Sue's ability to maintain outside. Sue, are you opposed to that?
No, I'm not, because I'm not sure when it's gonna be or what they're gonna do.
Okay,
yep, I'm available, I'll put it in here.
okay, so we'll have Wendy assist
From
us.
8,
Yeah, we can set the time. 8 to 11.
8 to 11.
6 to 9.
Yeah.
I was thinking 3 to 6.
Well, it's 8:15 for me. So.
AM?
It's a Saturday.
And the public's there by 7.
Yes. Alright. On to 12, discussion and possible action regarding the use of outside water meters. I'm not a fan of these.
Neither am I.
It's not cost effective, it's time consuming, it's staff time consuming,
That makes it less.
and it's not a huge amount of money either way.
and people don't follow the rules on it to call in their, no, I'm not saying all of them don't call it in, but some of them don't call it in until afterwards, and then staff moves on to other projects, and then they have to go back.
They try to do
revisit
3
this.
months at once, and they
Yes.
don't have that much water usage, so it becomes a nightmare.
And there's
Even
some-
though I'm one who uses it, I can understand it.
Even though there's some also that keep it and don't hardly use it year after year too.
And then I don't understand if they own the meter, but we don't have any regulation on it.
There's no
What's that?
records.
Yeah.
So I've had people come up and state that they had bought their meters. We don't have any information that says they do or have, and they don't, so to me, they were ours.
And that was before Deb even.
Yeah.
And then how do we know that those meters are certified?
Metered
That
right,
they're-
yeah.
that they're actually charging them the right, if they're not our meters and we don't have control of testing them
I
and.
could buy a meter off T-Mobile and they can turn every 4 gallons.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so I think if we're gonna do this, we need to revisit how we do it.
So, what we have had, these are people who check the meter out for the entire season. Is that right, Wendy?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some that will come up, we'll have like 6 or 8 of them sitting up here. They can come up, check it out, take it, bring it back. That was the read on the way out, the read on the way back. That's what they get. That's basically a pool for us.
Mm-hmm.
You get it one time and.
So are we able to potentially make a motion currently to abolish the use of these?
Yep.
If so, I would like to make that motion.
Alright, council has the authority to operate the, enterprise. So we have a motion.
Second.
Further discussion.
I just feel it'd be.
Are we still going to do pool fills and that type of thing then? If we don't have these, do those go away too?
Sounds like the motion was to abolish all.
Second, okay, just confirming.
Is that what you were?
Correct. Abolish all second meter use.
Okay.
Just to clean everything up and be able to get us a clean slate if we ever move forward in the future with.
So you're saying that you won't be able to get an outside meter this year?
Yes.
Oh boy. People who have gardens are not gonna be happy.
I was
Pray
happy.
for rain.
My garden did great last year.
I lost money on it last year, but I paid $10.
So that's the thing, if you read your packet, Sue, there's information about, was there 8 of them or 10 of them that lost money because they paid the fee to borrow money to pay for reduce their water rate? It actually cost them more.
Well, if it costs them more, it happens. You know, if we get adequate rain, then, hey, you take a gamble on it, but the city still gets paid the $10 and any water that they do use.
And I think it's just easier just to let us charge for all the water that goes through the meter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Regardless of how they use it.
Well, then you get sewer charged to the same amount that doesn't have anything to do with the sewer.
How do you know? I can tell you most of our water that hits the streets goes into the sewer. Or hits a garden, goes into an intake that rolls into our
That's
sewer.
fine. When it goes into my flower bed, it goes into my garden, it doesn't go into the sewer system, and so they shouldn't be charged for sewer on any water that's used outdoors.
Alright, so we have a motion at the moment to abolish all of them. Do you have anybody have any further discussion? Ken?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Sue?
No.
Doug?
Yeah.
Derek?
Yes.
Alright, that motion carries. Alright, first reading of ordinance number 11. First reading of ordinance number 347, amending the Maxwell Code of Ordinances to update the water, sewer, garbage, and recycling service rates. I lost my page. 43.
43.
Alright,
Number 3 can go away. And read number 4 to make it 3.
and I'm going to recommend that number 4 goes away, and here's why.
This is not being done right anyway.
Tony got a quote for a water meter to do bulk sales, and it'll be $4,200 for us to install this water meter. Now, here's the thing, in the state of Iowa, all water sales are required to be made, metered. We don't have a meter. We haven't been able to meter what we sell. We can't look at a jug and say, it looks like 200. It's not legal. It's required to be metered in the state of Iowa by the Iowa Utilities Commission. Therefore, if you want us to continue, if we want to charge for bulk sales, we must have a meter, which means we are going to spend $4,200, which then brings me to, how long is it going to take us to get it back at $1?
420,000 gallons.
Yep.
And that's a lot of 100, 250 gallon fills.
Well, let's not forget staff time in that.
True.
Yeah.
So, the practice has been, when these companies come into town and need water for their services that they're performing in town, they were taking the water and utilizing it in town. That's what the water was being used for.
Can I say however to that?
Sure.
I met one going west out of town on the gravel road a mile west at 7:30 this morning with our water, I'm sure. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I saw one going northeast out of town. It is not all staying in town. And last year, I think there were more violations of that nature.
And I'm also gonna say that there are other situations where we are benefiting from the use of that water for them. Such as a line bore from
Huxley to here, or wherever.
well, from the
Across the creek.
Across the underneath the creek.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on number 4.
So strike out 3 and 4.
My recommendation, I'm not a lawmaker. Being enacted by the City Council of the City of Maxwell, sections modified 92.02 Code of Ordinances of the City of Maxwell, Iowa is repealed and following adapted in lieu thereof. Rates for service, water service shall be furnished at the following rates within the city, service charge fixed rates. A customer service charge of $22.43 per month minimum bill shall be charged despite any temporary absence from the customer. Usage charge, variable rate of metered service figured on each gallon used, water rate usage 6.33 per gallon per 1,000 gallons. Water used for outside purposes shall be registered with the extra outside meter and be billed at the following rate: $10 for a startup fee and $6.33 per thousand. And then number 4, the bulk sales, all bulk sales are $1 per 100. Those are the sections that we were discussing at 3 and 4 of. Section modified 99.01 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maxwell, Iowa, repealed and the following is adapted in lieu thereof. Rates of service, each customer shall pay sewer service charges for the use of and for the service supplied by the Maxwell Municipal Sewer System based on the amount of water consumed as follows. Service charge fixed rate. A customer service charge of $67.41 per month minimum bill shall be charged despite any temporary absence from the customer. Usage charge, variable rate fixed on each gallon based on the amount of water consumed, excluding metered water for outside purposes, which will need to be amended if we're going to amend 3 and 4. Sewer usage fee $9.63 per 1,000 gallons. Solid waste collection. Multifamily dwelling shall be $20 per month. Commercial, industrial premises using approved residential style containers may petition the city and receive solid waste collection services and disposal services at the same rate as residential premises. Additional containers will be available for an additional $12 per month per container per premises per dwelling unit. Recycling rates. All proposed properties of this ordinance shall participate in the city's recycling program. The minimum recycling rate shall be established by the city council and may be adjusted periodically based on statewide benchmarks, environmental goals, and program performance. Property owners and waste haulers must maintain documentation demonstrating compliance with the established recycling rate and provide such documentation upon request by the city. The fee for recycling collection shall be $8 per month for residential premises of the dwelling unit. Is $8 what we decided on?
Their charge was gonna be $7.60, and we knew there'd be some bookkeeping fee, so we just rounded it up to 8.
Alright, wasn't it, I thought our trash, was our trash staying at 20?
It still is, yeah, that's
Okay.
current. So no change on the trash, but we've got that $8 new.
Okay.
Wendy, did you happen to have time to ask Tiana about, number 1 there on the section 1? Cause Perry thought 2243 wasn't the number, that he thought it was 27.
That's what I had from my March 9th notes.
27?
I had 2243. All of my numbers matched except the recycling was at 760 and then we bumped it to 8.
Alright, so we need to clean this up, we need a motion to continue discussion on this. Did we have a motion?
We had a motion.
We have a motion, so where's the in discussion?
We're in discussion.
Thank you.
So with your motion, we're gonna take out number 3, number 4,
Take out the
Last 6 words on
and wording on
section
2.
section 2, number 2, just to be, just take out whole number 2.
No, we still need to be
No.
able to charge it based
Or
on the
yeah,
amount of
charge
water
very-
we are,
yeah.
metering.
Our commercial
Taking
places.
out excluding metered water for outside purpose.
Yep.
Okay.
Commercial properties subject to recycling as well.
Yes.
Okay, so
Do we not have that in the recycling portion?
it currently says per month for each residential premises or dwelling unit only.
Good catch.
Yeah. Needs to include all residents and or commercial operations. Any further discussion? Was that an amendment to the motion with those changes?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
The second? And any further discussion on the amendment?
I'm just a little concerned if 27 instead of 2243, we're gonna be not getting enough revenue if that's the case.
Your notes didn't say 27? Or 22?
My notes said that, but Perry had notes that said 27. And the 633.
Well, I'm not gonna throw a $5 change, I don't think we should throw a $5 change if we don't actually know what it is. I mean, it's gonna cost us another $200 to modify it, but that's what you gotta do, we can do it again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't publish it until it's passed, so
Okay.
you can amend it.
Okay.
Oh.
I would feel better if we checked
We'll
with
have a
Tiana.
first and second, third reading, so.
So this is just first, so we can.
Amended at the second reading.
Can we amend it? Okay.
So let's pass it.
Pass it tonight,
And then we
and
can
then
amend, if we have
we'll
to
check
amend
with
it, we
Tiana
can do it on the
between.
second reading.
Good point, yep.
Okay.
Fine, thanks.
Any further discussion? Joel?
Yes.
Kent?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Sue?
Sue?
Yes.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
Alright, discussion and possible action on dust control spraying for summer. Anybody have any complaints when we only did it once last year?
Didn't even do my road.
It's cause you didn't have any traffic all summer. Probably gonna have some traffic this year.
Yes.
So my thought was, is I think we saved a little money by only doing it once.
Yes.
We were able to
That's
have-
for the whole town, or do once everywhere?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think it's fine.
do everything we did last year and then add your section? How many feet was that? Yeah.
I can figure it out. Real quick, you mean for everything?
To add, so everything we did last year, and then we were gonna add, cause we didn't do South Street last year, right?
Right.
So we need to add
And it
South
was
Street.
brought up one time to do the whole thing because that section between the new bridge and Tankersley's there, up to the corner of Macomb Street, it just gets to be a big old dust bowl and you can't see anybody coming off that bridge. And so it was suggested just to do everything down to the highway. When Mr. Gast was on, he was thinking the same thing, just, because, I met him one time. Let's see.
Have we ever checked prices with another company?
Yeah, I think we did.
Did we on this? I knew we did something.
We did it a couple of years.
Okay, okay.
Did we use Dino's last year? No, we used Dino's.
It was,
That was LL Pelton.
No.
Jericho.
Oil.
Jericho they bought out,
The one that we were using, yeah.
it's on the tip of my tongue.
So that would be the other thing. The other company that we used last year did allow us for a modification of price based on one or two. This one says on $1.66 per foot, 2 applications. Minimum 400 feet for 2 applications. $166 additional 100 foot for 2 applications. There's no one application. However, must accurately measure and flag the treatment area by April 17th, so.
It's coming up.
That's, yeah, real soon.
Yeah.
9 days.
And they do have the number of applications up above. You can select one fall application, but you can't get a spring.
Maybe we need to look for another company.
Either get a spring in fall or you get it fall.
What did we spend this last fiscal year on spraying?
Oiling?
Yeah. Oil and spraying.
Did we flag it before? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Tony went out there.
It's not responsible if it's not flagged, we kind of plow it through it, like how would you not know unless you're only doing it when it's raining?
Yeah.
So we had Meyer Street, 1,200 feet there. 660th Street,
500.
500. 3,200.
It was $1,500 from Heffron Services.
Said 1,500.
Yes, without the South Street.
And South Street would be,
You would want number 3, the green line that extends the entire.
Well, this is gonna be about this will be about $2,000 for the same footage. For 1,500. Now, you said 1,500 was the total cost.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have to figure out how many feet we did last year.
3,500 feet if we go right from city
210 to
line
city.
to Highway 210 on South Street.
3,500?
3,550.
Well, that's gonna cost about $3,500 on its own.
Ken, last year you said Myers was 1,200 and 660th was 300 feet.
Correct.
Okay.
It's $5,800 to do that 3,500 feet.
Okay.
Ouch.
Let me back that up then, just a second.
That would be 8.75 400-foot sections at $664 per 400-foot section. Well, just for instance, the 1,200 feet of.
What's 2,483 feet? That's to the bridge.
Hold on, so I'm gonna put the 1,200 for Meyer Street and 300 on 660th.
3, not 5.
Oh yeah, it was 5, wasn't it?
Yes.
500. That's 4,183 feet. Divided by 400 is 10.45 times 664. $7,000.
You added the 2,483.
We only spent 1,500 last year at $1.66 a foot. That's 903 feet.
Well,
so you can only do 900 feet
For the same
to
price.
stay in that same price.
but we didn't do
All the
3,200 feet. So
How
what
much-
did we do for
What did we
only
do 3
900
years ago?
How did we only do 900 feet?
Went from the city
Well,
limit down to
Because
Different
1,200
Homes Road.
1,200 is Meyer Street.
Different company.
900 feet is.
Yeah, it was a different company, but.
I think we need to do a little looking.
900 feet is only to, just past my property line to the
Well,
west.
we didn't do yours last year. I'm talking the 900 feet that we did last year. When it says right here that 1,200 feet was Meyer Street.
It was a different company.
Yeah, it was a different
last year.
company.
And
So it
it
must
was
have
a
been
single
cheaper
pass
then.
versus dual pass.
Okay, Paul? That, you said that company got bought out?
It's Jericho, it's the same, pretty much the same company. Isn't it?
You emailed a Paul Heffron?
Yeah, Heffron,
Okay.
yeah.
I think we should reach out and
Let's compare apples to apples. And then council should consider what they're gonna do for streets. What roads are going to detect. Set your feet so we know what it's gonna cost. Who's on the roads?
We'll take all seal coating from
Might be
county,
might be
county
cheaper.
line down to down to the highway.
Might be
That's
cheaper.
number 18, we're talking about Pelling, LL Pelling, so.
And that was
that's
60,000, that's a huge number too by
Well,
comparison.
then I'm sure it'd be a lot cheaper just to do that.
Alright, so can I refer this back to the roads committee? Who's our roads committee? Is that public work? What is that committee? I don't have my resolution in front of me.
I guess being part of the park, I think that's how I got it at the beginning.
soon county.
Alright,
Me and Sue.
task you with that.
Okay, do you want
Bring it back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
We'll add that to that agenda, please. Just in case we need to use the other one. It'll be close enough.
2 weeks.
Table. Discussion and possible action advancing the solar RFP deadline to the date prior to July 1st.
Okay, wait, I'm next. July 1st gives us 3 days to do anything, to organize anything, if we're going to go with the project. I talked to both companies and they said they can have a bid ready in three weeks or so is all that they would need. Now, we also don't know who else is interested, because when we put the RFP out, somebody may have picked up on it but not communicated to us.
And we currently have it sitting out there that they have until July 1, so.
Right. So what was suggested, and who suggested this, Wendy? Cancel this completely and start a new one.
So I got
New-
2 issues. First one, we can't do an RFP if we're gonna buy it.
Okay,
So if we are going to own the solar panel, we have to do a bid.
okay.
So the RFP is pointless. It's a waste of time unless the council is going to decide that they want somebody else to come in and own this thing, then we benefit from it. So the council needs to decide one or the other. The RFP can just die if we don't do anything with it, just the way it is. Or if we wanna continue with the bid process, we can keep moving forward. Wes?
Makes sense. What's you've issued the language of your RFP?
Yes.
And it's for, the purchase of?
No, we can't. So Iowa code doesn't allow it to be a purchase of.
Right. So your RFP is currently out there for
Purchase
someone
or
to, okay.
just put it in. We didn't do it right.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm, and maybe this just comes from my ignorance of the panels, is what options are out there. So kind of similar what we ran into with like a wastewater treatment plant, right? If you just do, we want to buy a wastewater treatment plant, well, what do we want to buy? You might need to have an RFP for assistance with the panel selection. You know, what options are out there, and maybe there's just for I call it design services for lack of a better thing. It's not something I would do, but it'd be kind of like that same role as we need help, someone telling you what options are out there for purchase or for rent.
Yep.
Or agreement, what systems are out there, what sizes, what layouts, what things like that. So that might be where your RFP might be a better use, is something like that for assistance with determining what it is you're actually looking for guidance on that from somebody in the industry. And then from there, then you could either put out a bid for purchase, or you could put out another RFP for procurement, or not procurement, it'd be for RFP for partnership or franchise or whatever it is that you do.
And by that, he means somebody that's not trying to sell us the equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
A little technical expertise without
Yeah.
a foot in the door.
Yeah.
Tony mentioned today that Alliant might partner with the city. That's a possibility. I don't know anything else about that.
So, council has some decisions and thoughts to work on.
I would suggest not rushing this because budget's gonna be tight already, and we don't know funding for this, we don't know a lot about the project. I think it's a great project, but with some of the restraints that we're already facing and trying to figure out, I don't know if it's the right timing currently. Just my thoughts.
Okay. She said she agrees.
So, reference to the RFP, I think if we just let it run its course, get some data from it of whatever the people do submit to have as data for it, because
Just
we do not,
history,
we
yeah.
don't have to act on anything.
Yep, we still have the information, it's not a hurt somebody.
Okay.
And then that's our stepping stone for moving forward.
And we have some information already from a couple different sources, so, I would encourage the enterprise committees to get together and discuss next steps in a well thought out planning on how we're going to move forward with this. Whether it be we hire a solar consultant to come in and tell us what we should be doing.
What we can get put in, what we can.
Yep, that's not attached to a bid or making money on the project.
Okay. I do think both companies that we're aware of said the transformer out there is going to be a limiting factor.
And that'll be a discussion that this
Yeah.
other person can definitely point us in that direction.
Right.
If that's the first thing that needs to go, then he's gonna tell us, well, you're gonna spend 10 grand up front swapping out a transformer.
Yeah.
Then that's where we know we're at.
Yep, okay.
Okay. Moving on from 14, no action.
No action.
Discussion and possible action on drainage complaint on 500 Baldwin. Wes sent me an email today.
Yeah. So we've talked about this in a couple, I'm gonna move up here a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
We talked about this in a couple previous councils, a complaint from the property owner there that was expressing that they'd seen some increased, localized flooding there adjacent to our storm sewer project, and did some research. It looks like, one of our surveys shows an old tile-like intake in that area that got removed with the project because the new storm sewer replaced that sewer. Another survey doesn't show it, so it might have been plugged, it might have been acting well, so it might have got missed, grown over, that kind of thing. But it does look like there might have been something there in the past. So, and the way the grade lays, the project didn't really change the grade through that area. It's just the way it lays, their driveway comes off of the roadway and it just kind of impounds the water. It doesn't provide for positive drainage off of that area. So, looked at a couple different options there to improve the drainage in the parking adjacent to 500 Baldwin. The little map there has a couple of those options. One of them would be to look into lowering that the structure that's to the east part of the lot. It was not intended to be a primary drainage. It was a kind of a junction structure. Spencer kind of went into that in some previous discussions, but it could, I believe, could be lowered. It's an Nyloplast intake, so it's a PVC intake. I think they could, it's a little bit of retro engineering to lower it, but in the PVC cuts well, you could cut it down and lower the rim elevation.
The large beehive.
The large beehive, right. I think that could be fairly easily lowered 3-6 inches to get down, and then regrade the yard space there so it drains into that intake to drain that low area. So that's one option. Another option would be then to basically put a tile inlet tap onto the storm sewer that's right there below the low area. So it'd be
drill down.
just basically just drill down into the top of the pipe. It's like 4 feet deep. Drill on the top of the pipe. They make a product called Insert T. It goes right into that HDP pipe. Stick a PVC above that, and then have a Nyloplast little, probably 8-inch tile inlet, similar to what was there before, more than likely, that would be low enough to drain an area and then grade the area to drain to that. So I put some rough prices on the different options there. Those are real rough. The problem with a small project like this, it all depends on the contractor, what's his time. Right, yeah, it's not really dependent on the materials, it's his time to get out there, what he's got going on. So, but those are kind of ballparky-ish, to kind of give us an idea. Should be sub 10. I hope it'd be a lot less than that, but we just don't know because of the scale of it. My recommendation was, if you do want to address it in either one of these, and price is the only concern here for which option, I would recommend getting a cost from a contractor or several contractors to, hey, what would it take to do both of these, which one is cheaper, and just base it on that. If for one of them over the other, by all means just get a quote for the one, but if you don't care, just cost, which is kind of how I would lay in, I think both would serve the purpose, then that would be worth getting a cost to just see. And you're not tied into that either. If it's just a quote, it's below our bidding threshold, does not have to bid. And you can make a decision based on that, so.
My only last point on this is that we're draining water in a parking area. So this is a private property, this is city property. That's my 2 cents. I mean, I understand the homeowner's complaint. I'm not saying that I don't, but it's not as bad as 429 Ashford. It's not standing there for months on end. And I don't know, there's a lot of water issues in town, and this one doesn't seem to be a big one for $10,000. So my 2 cents. But I'm gonna leave it to the council, because that's why you guys are here.
Was this ever projected for any of the designs on Baldwin?
Was
or the potential for?
No. We looked at it and we didn't change the grade. The area didn't drain well to begin with. There's not really a decent road ditch. There's actually a couple other areas that were identified in some of the discussions back by the 260 Shannon's place, back by his garage. There's a low area that floods. Well, that always has. Now, how much water has gotten there? There's more water coming off of Baldwin now that it's nice and smooth paved and less potholes to collect the water. We don't know. It's hard to say. But a lot of the area, it wasn't planned to change, So the idea was that it would just act like normal. Now, there was that one intake that looked like it might have drained this area, and probably might have been even the same solution back in the day. That it was, hey, this floods here, let's drop a tile and tap into the old line.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing, so.
Alright. So council has the opportunity to, I'm sorry?
They should be glad it isn't going into their house and devaluating the value of their home.
Alright, so this is a discussion of possible action on the drainage complaint at 500, so I entertain a motion from the council.
I would motion that we look at potential contractors just to see what it might take, cause it doesn't hurt to ask for a quote.
I could be way off on my prices, and it might not be near that, especially for a local guy, yeah.
Yep.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Sue?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Tim?
Yeah.
Doug?
Yes.
Derek? Alright.
So is that something you'd like us to reach out to some contractors and get pricing, or would you
Wouldn't
rather
hurt
do that?
if you got some that are smaller, local.
Yeah, or if you have any that you know of, what I would do is just share what we shared with you there, say, hey, we got a couple, I mean, it's pretty, backyard engineered, so it can be back there.
Really, the big beehive one would be just a matter of taking the beehive off, digging around it.
Lowering.
Cut the top
Cut
off,
the
and
top.
I think that's gonna be the cheapest one.
Maybe
It's a
Huber?
little more hassle. Huber might be interested in it, yeah,
They were just here, so.
yeah. It's just gonna be,
Yeah.
who has time to dedicate a day and a half to get out here and do it. Okay.
Cool, thank you. Alright, on to 16. Opening and discussion of sealed bid sidewalk improvements at
If you could
400,
go there,
422, 620
if
Baldwin,
you have any questions, you can call me.
followed by proposed possible approval. First bid, KSM Concrete Services out of Collins. Removal and disposal of existing sidewalk, excavation, subgrade preparation, forming, pouring, finishing concrete sidewalks, installation of ADA compliant ramps and detectable warnings if required, backfilling, grading, and site restoration. Traffic and pedestrian control is necessary. Proposed project late April, early May 2026. 14 days worth of work. Due to the distributed nature of the project, work will be completed in phases. Sidewalk sections will be removed and replaced in controlled segments rather than all at once, following safe, continuous pedestrian movement throughout the project. Subject to work, weather and site conditions. Additional work outside the defined scope may result in change order. Material specification, 4-inch thick concrete sidewalks, 4,000 PSI, exterior air entrained concrete mix suitable for freeze-thaw conditions, properly compacted, subgrade, granular base install as needed, control and expansion joints installed as required, broom finish for slip resistant, ADA compliant features installed where required, driveways and high load areas, sidewalk sections crossing driveways will be constructed using 6-inch thick concrete for added durability. KSM Concrete is capable of providing performance and or payment bond if required. Bonding will be obtained in accordance with specifications set forth by city maximum contract award. Their estimate is $19,400. And they provided their copy of their liability policy.
What was the name of that one, sir?
KSM Concrete Services out of Collins.
Okay.
And that is 2,400 square feet of concrete, which was 600 linear feet.
Mm-hmm.
So 600 linear feet. Bid number 2, Absolute Group, Granger, Iowa. Bond is excluded. tied unless otherwise specified. Winter charges are excluded. Winter blankets are excluded based on invitation to bid. They are 6-inch subgrade preparation, sidewalk, 4-inch PCC, 267 square yards. Their total bid is $22,485.75. They have $525 for traffic control, and $34.71 is the removal of the sidewalk. That's included in that total. Employee owned company. Two bids, $25,000 budgeted this fiscal year.
KSM was doing the removal as well.
KSM was removal and replacement of the sidewalk.
And how much subgrade, did you say a 4-inch subgrade or 6?
They did not indicate a subgrade. Nope, they have sub-base material, 4,000 PSI concrete, mix, dirt, grass, disposal fees, mobilization. They didn't identify a properly compacted subgrade, so they indicated.
So we're looking at a $3,000 difference between bids.
Yep.
Both providing the same amount of product.
Same amount of product. Slightly less information on the
Subgrade.
Slightly less information provided on the Absolute Group as far as what they will be doing, except for they did include additional information on the subgrade preparation, which is different from the KSM.
Did they give us a timeline? Absolute.
Absolute didn't give a timeline either.
Absolutely.
Proposal is valid for 15 days from bid date.
I've seen a lot
So
of.
how much more can we get done?
So
Is that all you wanna get done this year, or?
I can tell you those 3 addresses don't include 600 linear feet. That's 600 linear feet is basically 2 full city blocks.
Okay.
So we need some additional spacing. I just wanted to get the bid out so I could get the process moving. Those were ones that we've identified. We removed all of the Main Street items because that's all taken care of. So this is what was left off of that we've already provided notice to.
Okay.
So
I make a motion we accept KSM.
I'll second.
further discussion.
I do like supporting local, and Collins is
more
local than Granger. Granger is a larger company, or Absolute Group than Granger itself. But I agree that KSM would be a good one to have local, and they're right next door.
Got somebody to talk to.
If we have problems, we know where they live.
Yep. Yep. Sue? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. Ken?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Bid is accepted. Discussion and number 17, discussion and possible action on a broken Ferris mower, replacing or fixing it. So I think I got the wrong mower listed here. I got the broken John Deere is the issue.
Yes.
$2,400 and $2,500, just in parts. May or may not complete the project. it's 20, 30, 25 years old. This is the one that was roughly 55,000 to replace that we had discussed setting aside the money to pay for.
Ended up cutting.
Yep. So, the other issue is the Ferris, which is the one that is used for all of the city parks, is exhausted and is very likely going to expire this year.
What year is the Ferris?
It is a 15, and it has 1,500 hours on it, and it is a gas motor, and therefore it's not going to last forever. The diesel, which is in the John Deere, is why it's older and has managed to make it this far. But it also has a snow blower attachment, it has the broom attachment, and it's got a snow blade. The 55,000 included all of those replacement for those items for that new
All the
equipment.
attachments.
And it's also that was a 4-wheel drive cab. We discussed with the personnel or the public works director in regards to utilizing that as a mower additionally, adding a front mount 60-inch mower to the front of it. The issue is it's a cab and we have lots of trees, so that becomes a more cumbersome and possibly more damaging to trees and on machine trying to use it as a mower. So what I'm asking is, does the council want to pay the $2,400 for parts for a mower, in my mower expertise opinion, that is worth about $5,000? Now, I'll give you this one other side of that. A couple of years ago, a few years back, apparently, they did a quote for replacement on it before, and John Deere offered $500. So there's
In a working condition.
In a working condition.
Yeah.
So there's a difference of trading in versus cash sale, which the city has the opportunity to take cash sales on things like that. It's not always best to trade in equipment, but for consideration by the council.
So it's something you could put on one of those government.
Doesn't even have to be government. Like, what do we get, $2,900 out of our ambulance that was worth $300 to trade it in? So there's opportunities.
No, I mean, on the government site where you, the bidding,
The gov deals.
good deals,
You can,
or is that a problem?
the state uses it, they don't get paid much.
Right.
People buy it because they're going for nothing.
Usually cheap stuff.
Yep. So, anyway.
Do we currently have the cash available to purchase something to replace versus?
Well, we can discuss that a little later when we get into our amendments for 26.
I looked at a Kubota F2690, which was comparable to the John Deere, which is considerably cheaper.
Right.
It was supposed to be a commercial grade. It would come with or without the cab too.
So
I was configuring a cab, 60-inch deck, front brush sweeper.
One of the things to very carefully consider is, while that Kubota may have a cab on it, it may or may not be conditioned. That is an issue running a small piece of equipment, whether or not it's conditioned. Different quotes, all possible opportunities. I would highly encourage further discussion with the Public Works Director on what their needs are. These are my discussions with Public Works in regards to I asked him for what is it going to cost to fix it. That's the best he could tell me. Parts are available. That's staff time to fix that.
They can fix it?
They can fix it, but that's staff time. And then whether or not it does it all. You know, it may or may not, radiator may or may not be salvageable, or may or may not be something else broken when we get further in there. The joints and things came apart and caused the motor mount broke caused the joint to fail. Joint hit the fan hit the radiator. Fan hit the joint too, and so broke the U-joint. Yuck.
So we're potentially gonna start a rabbit hole with this even more than it already is.
Could very well band-aid a broken band-aid.
I like your suggestion of talking more without action on this currently, and maybe do some more searching too to see what other options are out there besides a John Deere, and get some specs of what all are exactly needed.
And maybe, just throw this one out there, maybe this is the discussion. Skid loader you can put a snow blower on, skid loader you can put a brush on, skid loader you can put a blade on. Maybe this is that time where, maybe this, because Public Works asked for a skid loader before, maybe this is the time to discuss putting a skid loader in action with the equipment that we would, cause I don't think we're too much different in price. And now we could use it, I mean, we were 20,000, 30,000, but then you're using it for everything else. And I know.
Will a skid loader fit sidewalks?
If you buy the right size one.
So,
And.
Are we losing a mower by getting a skid loader?
Well, we don't, so we're not
Currently
using
isn't.
this one as a mower.
Okay.
However, we do, I still need a mower.
And that's a separate.
And does the council wanna convert the cemetery mower to the city mower? And buy a replacement city cemetery mower? Another topic for discussion.
What would be the benefit of doing that?
One's already in use and is gonna get more use, and doesn't have that many hours on it for the short period of time it's been had. The other alternative is that we turn it over, give the cemetery one of the older, cause we have an old John Deere with the diesel motor it's older, 17, 15, 17, somewhere in there, that's, could be used at the cemetery too. But Paul spends an awful lot of time on a mower, so. One way or another, we're gonna be racking up hours on mowers. Especially with it turning green already.
So absolute need is brush for attachments, brush and all, what else?
Brush, snow blower, and blade.
Which blade could be converted to using just the bucket.
If it's a skid loader.
Yes, if a skid loader, sorry.
Snow blower. Blade.
Alright, so, put that with the Public Works Committee, or the Facilities Committee.
Do you want 2 weeks?
Yeah, grass will be tall enough to mow better.
Almost tall enough now.
Thank you.
Yep.
Table for now. At next 2 weeks agenda,
But
please.
then, yeah, thank you.
Number 18, discussion of possible action on LL Peeling's 2026 seal coat proposal. Now, I'm just gonna let you guys know, I talked with the Public Works as well on this today. We put on items that were, basically what happened is Tony drove around town and these are the items that he found that needed to be fixed. They weren't, nothing was, oh my gosh, this needs to be done tomorrow. However, if somebody wants to go review what is on here, you should review it
And you want it?
In 2 weeks.
Now, one of the things that we did add on here again, which was on here a year ago, was the cemetery. So whether or not that makes it, but this is the compiled list, $80,674. Wendy, what is our budgeted 27 allotment?
27?
27, that's where this will come from.
We did 74.
But we also have to pay for the seal coat for out of that.
This is the seal coat, you mean have to pay for the dust.
Pay for the dust control out of that.
Whatever that ends up
Whatever
with.
that.
$73,450.
$73,450 is what you got to work with.
Dust and seal coat.
Yep. Tony, you happy to take you for a drive?
30,000, that was just the cemetery.
That's.
He's got Fifth from Baldwin to Dead End twice in here.
That's because. It's got different quantities too.
Yeah. Depends on how long you go and how wide you go.
Yeah,
there's
so that's a little further into our discussion with the engineer, I believe. We just start discussing the damage down Fifth Street after the heavy construction is completed. When did I get that email today?
That's down at the end of Fifth Street? Yeah.
It's basically turned into gravel road. It was seal coat, and now we've damaged it, so chances are that's probably gonna be the longer or the larger of the two to make that one work. And maybe it's, I don't know.
Let's see, 'cause they didn't put a price for the one, but they put a price for the other, so.
I'm guessing I know what that is, so the first 237 feet is 20 foot wide, and then it narrows to a single lane at 14 foot down to the last house on the right.
Oh, okay.
That's why you're two pieces there.
They just didn't put a price.
No, it's there, 1226. That would be those two combined.
Oh, combined.
Yeah. And that's just to clean up and fix that Baldwin Street dead end. Fifth Street dead end, sorry. Okay. Table till 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Discussion and possible action on, number 19, discussion and possible action on codification project for chapters 90, 111 of the Knoxville Code of Ordinances. Amongst yourselves, I'm over the restroom. Thank you, sir.
Well, we can eliminate question number 6 already.
Correct. Okay, that takes out.
Goes on to the next page.
Yep, and question number 7. Oh, actually number 7 wouldn't be eliminated.
I've already scratched it out.
I know, I did too.
So they're.
Cause that has to do with.
Outside city limits.
Like out there on Myers and Webb. We're outside the city limits. Well, technically we're inside the city limits, but we use the Iowa Rural Water Association rates.
on city water, why is it in there? Cause if you're on city water, then.
We still pay our water bill through the city, and the city pays rural water
Mhm.
for our water.
Alright, we got that.
Yes.
Well, we got rid of number 6, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
6 is gone.
Oh, nice, problem solved. Do we skip one?
Water connection. Do we have a title on it?
Get the ordinance, say then.
I do
You
have something there.
90.03. Search it.
90.03.
90.03.
I'm guessing if he's asking the question, it's not there.
Oops.
According to our ordinance, 9003 mandatory connections, all residences and business establishments within the city limits intended or used for human habitation, occupancy, or use shall be connected to the public water system if it is reasonably available and if the building is not furnished with pure and wholesome water from some other source.
So he's suggesting we put a 60-day rental. Get it connected.
100 feet, 100 feet.
I would recommend that whole section gets revised, because that means that I could put a shanty anywhere and require the city to hook up water, cause I'm gonna live in it.
Which would
But
be,
then that also.
which would be if, like Megan Lawrence's little pad that she had there, you could put a place there and say you wanted water.
Should it be a residence or a home?
Right.
That meets building codes?
That allows
Protect waters.
already.
Cause otherwise it doesn't protect the water supply system from the elements. I'll give you a for instance, I had a resident who asked to hook the water supply up to their garage. There's no residence there. And I said no.
Cause there's no sewer there.
And there's no guarantee that the home's gonna be, that it's capable of being habitable.
Mm-hmm.
So. Or that the water is going to be prevented from.
But didn't that say in there that it has to be habitable? Something about
Intended for.
intended for habitation?
So.
Intended or used for human habitation. Occupancy or use
I could
shall
live
be
in my garage.
connected to the public water system.
But should I?
If you do have someone living in your garage, then that goes through a whole different abatement for what is that property zoned as for that piece. Which opens a whole different can of legal worms.
But in that case, like you wanna, if you're gonna have water there and you intend to live there, you have to have some type of sewer there then too, right?
Yep.
Otherwise, what's he gonna do with the water? I mean, he'd be mixing it up with chemicals, then where's it go?
Right.
Out a little drain out of his side of his garage, or?
So, I would say that section 90.03 probably needs a revision. And I would direct the council to revise section 90.03 next fiscal year. And we will include these comments for the revision to Justin.
Okay.
Number 2.
90.06 is the fee for water service connection permit, still $200 for a service size of 3/4 inch or less, and $400 for service size greater than 3/4.
It is, but I don't think the permitting costs cover the expenses. I don't know when the last time section 90.06 was modified. The last time I saw a backhoe roll in, it cost us $1,000 for the first 5 minutes they were there.
Yeah.
Before any permit is issued, the person who makes the application shall pay $50 to the clerk to cover the cost of issuing the permit and supervising, regulating, and inspection of the work. There shall be a connection charge based upon service size paid for the city cost before a permit is issued. The connection charges is as follows: 200 for 3/4 or less, 400 for more than 3/4.
Standard today is an inch, so.
So we need to
Revise
thinking
that.
about revising that one too.
Make it in the same section. Wendy, that was my question. Justin's asking all these questions for codification. Don't we have to modify all of our ordinances through the ordinance modification process in order for this to be codified?
Like for the dog ordinance today, I asked him and he said as long as it's not controversial or a huge change, then we can include it with the project and not publish it separately.
And we don't have to act on it separately.
Okay.
Quick, make the changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say
Changing
yes.
the monetary amount, would that be controversial?
Depends on who complains about it. So if any of you council members receive complaint about adjusting modification to the price, then you might consider it controversial. Alright, number 3, SUDAS.
So we're gonna say no, yes, no, revision?
I think we were revising it, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Along with number 1. So we don't need to actually rewrite the ordinance then, we can just revise it here and now, is what he's saying?
With the project.
You guys decide how much it's gonna be.
And then you said they're putting it up mandatory 1 inch down?
I think it's the standard.
That's their new standard. Wes, what's a typical hookup cost?
Oh, like water service?
Yeah.
Connection fee? I'd have to do some research, I don't know off the top of my head, cause usually we don't get into those, those are, run by the cities that,
Yeah.
they just do what they're gonna do.
And basically, my understanding is the permit fee is basically our cost of Tony standing out there watching them install this.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Now, some communities do, the contractor will dig the excavation and they actually do the tap. I think when Waterworks does that, it'd just be how anal they are about control of their systems, but, they've also got, staff that does that too, so.
Connection fees range from 500 to 5,000 depending on the distance of the main water.
That's the connection, not the permit though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this AI here says, $4,600 for a single tap, but that's the connection. But permits are $650 per water connection and $750 for water service installation.
I was just gonna say 5 and 8 if we change it to 5 and 8.
$110 in the morning.
Do you think it's hot in here?
That's their inspection cost.
4 and 8.
Just double it.
That's my double it, 400.
I'm sure
Make a motion to
inflation
change
from
it to
whenever
400.
those last revised.
I'll second.
Do we wanna make our motions till the end, or do we need to make it for each one, Wendy?
No, you can wait.
So, do we
Just
wanna,
we'll put that change in there.
yep, do we wanna make the same change, do we wanna go back to 1 and adjust the changes required there? We just wanna throw in that
60 days.
require 60 days.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And on to number 3 then, SUDAS. I think we've adopted SUDAS, I thought that was somewhere in our.
We've operated like you guys have, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming we have.
What does this section say? It doesn't have
10 out.
no SUDAS?
No SUDAS.
Well, I think it's kinda mandatory for engineering projects to begin with, isn't it?
It's not mandatory. SUDAS is a voluntary program, so you can still design a project and use SUDAS for that project. SUDAS does provide some additional. So there's 2 sides to SUDAS. There's the design guidelines, and there's the projects, the standard specifications. So when you're looking at, say, a development coming in, the design guidelines would govern because you've adopted those design guidelines, so they have to design it to the SUDAS design guidelines. For a project, you can always use the standard specifications for any project. You just name it in your documents, and that's what you're using. So, but if you want to apply it to others' work as a standard for the city, then you should adopt it as the standard specifications and/or design guidance.
Creates uniformity across multiple.
Right.
So, looks like we don't have a section for that, so we would need to add that as a section, which would require an ordinance change, correct?
Be pretty controversial.
Could be.
Depends on who you ask.
I'll ask Justin what he thinks.
And there should be examples that he can pull from other communities that have adopted it across the state.
So currently it's not in our code of ordinances. So.
Likely it was adopted by some resolution in the past and filed, and who knows where it is.
Yeah. Alright. Number 4, private wells. Would the city like to move this regulation into a separate chapter? We have a private well section in the current code. He's gonna provide us with some specific requirements on the construction of maintenance of private wells that could be a separate chapter in this water section.
So 77 and 80 are his examples.
Private water wells don't make a lot of sense to me in town if we're requiring them to hook up to our city water in 60 days. Just throwing that one out there.
But if you have a property that is outside of that 100 feet that could implement their own private well to have a catch-all.
Do we want that?
Do you want to change and take out the 100 feet and then require anyone inside city limits?
I think so.
I've already asked, you guys said no.
Yeah, we don't have it for a big section of the.
Bring my sewer over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds like we need a separate section of private wells.
Looking through both of these, I do prefer the layout of the first option on 77 through 79.
I was gonna say too.
I mean, they're very similar, but I do like the first one.
My guess is that 98% of this comes right out of the Iowa code section.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it's formatted just like ours.
Yeah.
Our ordinances too, so I would go with 77, 79. I don't mind vote.
That'd be part of our ending motion, correct?
Alright. Number 5. Some cities have adopted language related to the testing and accuracy of a water meter to guide that process. Here's the 2 generally used sections for review and consideration. Superintendent or any designee shall make a test of the accuracy of any water meter at any time and requested in writing. I can tell you that we as a city need this type of language to grant access to a residence to test.
We don't have a 9110.
Yeah, I don't see one either.
These are examples
Okay.
that we would need to adopt. And when I say test, means test.
I like the first one myself. The second one, I don't have my law degree to decipher what it's saying.
I think either one of these would be very similar to what Alliant Energy's policy is. They do a percentage based on overage use over a period of time from the last known standard, and then you can get a credit back.
I do the meter testing versus accuracy test.
Yep.
Reading.
There's also a limited on liability on the time frames too, which is
Yes.
very impactful in a small city. Alright, concurrence?
Concurrency.
Going to 7. Water rates for outside water users.
It's for Rock Creek Heights, for Webb and Myers.
So because they are on the separate water system,
The rural water.
they're charging, other communities are charging 150 or 200% over, is that what this is saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are we charging more, or are you charging less because they're not buying water from you?
I asked Tony, he said we charge less because whenever there's no hydrants out there to fight fires.
Normally the 200% is when you're serving someone who's not in the city with city water, you'll charge 200% rates. They're paying rural water
They're
for the
paying
water.
rural water for the water.
They're not paying sewer rates.
Right.
Well, I mean, so do they have sewer?
No.
No, they're all septic.
We bill them and then rural water bills us.
Oh, okay, so you do bill them through the city and the rural water.
It's a pass through the city.
So that's where the 200% would come
Gotcha.
in. We typically, other cities would be charging them 200%.
So for your administration.
And are we currently just flat rating what rural water requires charging, or do we have a penny of whatever to account for the administration?
I don't think there's any administration.
I don't think there's any considerations given whatsoever. I'd have to see what the water bills to even know what it looks like.
Not
Got
that
your
I,
water bill, Joe?
Not with me.
not that I wanna jack rates up or anything, it's just if we have city people that are doing the pass-through payment and it takes time and.
There's costs involved.
Yeah.
It's take postage and everything else.
74 cents a stamp now or something?
Yeah. $300 every month.
But there's also the responsibility of the city that they should be running the water lines out to those residents since we're in town.
I don't think you can.
Good.
They
But
would
I'm
not.
not gonna
If
justify
rural-
what previous councils did.
Yeah, if rural water has them in their service area, you can't take over their service area. Didn't think there's a fly. Sorry. All the time, jeez. If they're in rural water service area, you cannot take them over and take them from rural water unless rural water agrees to let you have them. There's lawsuits that have been established on that one, so.
And because that area was all covered by rural water prior to the developments, they are where they're at.
They can, yeah.
Yeah.
And good luck getting rural water to release them.
I couldn't even get rural water to make an agreement that didn't cost them anything. I was just trying to offer a shared service. If our water failed, we could rely on them. If their water failed, we could rely on them. They didn't want any part of it.
For the city as a whole or your private?
City as a whole?
They have that, well, every rural water is different. So other rural water companies have those agreements with towns, but.
What they said was because we don't sell non-softened water, we won't take your water. I'm like, really? You wouldn't even take the water if you didn't have any water to provide. I guess you would rather serve.
They would serve you water, but they wouldn't take your water is what they, yeah, okay.
There's a problem even with their water coming in to fill our tower. It'll only fill it up 10 feet above.
Yeah, they're on a different pressure zone than you are, so.
Yeah, so it won't even handle, if we have to go to them specifically.
Yeah.
Our fire suppression.
Cause I think we have a connection to the city system on the north side of town, yeah, okay. But it wouldn't fill the tower because their pressures aren't high enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, which affects the fire suppression.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, what's council wanna do? Can you pull one of those water rates?
One of the bills?
Yeah.
Can I pull yours, Joe?
Sure.
I can pull someone
Thanks
else's.
for being a volunteer.
I think you're a volunteer right now.
Can you redact all those?
So just the total?
It's gonna be high.
Makes a difference.
Yes.
The total we were
Yeah, it'd be
billed
different
and the
than like
total we
you
billed
want.
out,
Yeah.
unless they
Well,
match.
that's for the rest of the town, that's gonna cost the average home about $30 a month. That's a big increase.
I don't know that I wanna go 150 right off the bat, or even 200 right off the bat. Do it in chunks.
Progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And shouldn't this be tied into the water ordinance, water rate ordinance?
Mm-hmm.
Probably need to revise that section. Where's that?
11, page 43.
Yeah, if we're gonna add it in there.
Yeah.
Which we can revise that at the second.
Well, section number, so, I don't know, this, there you go. ordinance. Oh, there it is, 9202, okay. Just ordinance number 347. The next section, number 8, water rates. City doesn't have a different rate for commercial. Most organizations have different rates for commercial or industrial.
The IRUA bills are around probably 300 average. They just send me the total gallons used. I can't tell who.
So you have the total gallons used, and then we divide that based on the homes, based on their gallon usage, or how do we divide out who gets charged what?
I don't know. I can ask Carrie.
I won't put that on the
Tweaks.
Tweaks. I need to put that on the enterprise committee for them to review how that water is handled and how that billing takes place. It sounds to me like nobody really knows, and it's probably not being done appropriately.
You're right.
Cause you guys have city meters, right, Joel, in your house?
Mm-hmm. So we should be able to match the exact water.
To the right address.
Yeah.
I just get one bill though for Rock Creek Heights.
Right, but we also need to compare that bill versus what we're
To all
charging
the
you.
people? Okay.
We might be 7 ways upside down, we might not be charging anywhere near enough.
Yeah, I don't know that.
So,
Okay.
I need the enterprise committee to review that, cause that might be costing us in the water department anyway.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Be here all night on 2 weeks.
Tweakers.
Another thing on that, if I might, I know Public Works reports their water usage and water sales every month. You might wanna see if that water sales includes the RUA, because that would distort your production versus sales numbers. Just a thought.
It would really distort the amount of sewer that we're taking in.
Mm-hmm.
When we're still at
Well, we already know we're way, we have
sewer.
crazy peaks on that one, but we, one of the things I kinda watch is, okay, what water do we produce, what water do we sell?
Yep.
So is there a loss in there, leaky pipes or whatever?
And we might have a lot more loss considering if we're
You
counting
may have a lot more
those
loss
as-
if we're counting in their sales as part of what we're counting for against our production.
That might be some of that overall loss that we're seeing every month.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he said.
That 180,000 gallons or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 9202.
So,
go ahead.
enterprise committee, please review that aspect as well. And then, I think this is gonna turn into a bunch of different pieces. Question 7, number 7, 8, 9 can all be part of the enterprise committee reviewing, along with ordinance 347.
9202 actually is showing $20.62 per month. Minimum bill at $1.48 per thousand.
Yeah, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The good old days.
And it has something to do with bulk sales here too, so. $100 or $1 per 100 gallons.
Alright, so 8 will go in there as well. The enterprise committee can review whether or not industrial, commercial customers should be charged a different rate.
So actually, the whole chapter 92 could be.
Yep. And then on to number 9, water restoration fee 9205. Current language says that we charge $35 for reconnect after disconnection. Then the language says that you lower that fee if they paid the superintendent when they are out on site. I think we should probably adjust that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good practice.
No, I don't think we should be paying him
The
$35 out there.
It should just be the $35 reconnection fee if we have to disconnect you.
Yeah. Payable at City Hall.
Yep.
day of service.
$35 in a six pack.
Yeah.
So no 25,
No change in fees, just 35 for reconnection after disconnect.
cause it says if he's there and they call in and make a payment or come pay, then we only charge 25.
If he's there, it's $35.
35 regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you
Payable
scratch
at
So we
City
get rid of
Hall.
that line.
at City Hall,
Yes.
so you can retract the rest of that.
So they can come and pay $35 and then he can go on.
Turn it back on. 10, wellhead protection, chapter 93, city has a wellhead protection chapter in their code. As chapter 148, recommend that we update this to the latest version approved by the DNR, move this to chapter 93 instead.
Sounds good to me.
Number 11, water conservation regulations. Seeing more and more cities adopting water conservation language in the code. Well, we're instituting recycling, so why shouldn't we conserve our water?
Yeah, why didn't he provide us with some
He didn't give us
examples?
much.
How do we encourage water conservation?
Only water your gardens on odd days. I mean, some people do it when it's dry on it.
Some of that stuff takes effect and is practical. Some of the things that some of the bigger cities have started doing is they've started, taking away the ability to capture rainwater, which distorts from water conservation efforts.
Yeah, that's a negative, yeah.
However they do it because they claim it's pest control. So it's a balancing act, and it's really up to the council in what direction they would choose to take this if they want.
Probably have a scaled approach of, if we're starting to see water stress, then mandating having limited, car wash use, things like that, to say, hey, yep, you can't wash your cars at a certain level determined by Public Works on wellhead pressure at the water plant.
So I believe I would have that authority anyway.
Okay.
Given a emergency type situation where we are not able to supply the needed water resources, I would be able to limit the water.
I think throw this back to Justin and say, send us some examples, and then that way we can evaluate it and looking at examples versus us trying to come up with something.
Yeah.
And
For
or
a
we
town
could-
this size.
I mean, cause he's saying that he's seen other cities doing it, so then that means he's got examples, send it to us.
Yep, alright.
Please. Goes very far.
So was that a motion?
A motion for all of that? Yes.
Second.
Further discussion on all of that.
No.
Alright, Sue.
You're good.
I'm a wingite, I just forget to hit my mute button.
Okay. Is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Alright, Joel,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Doug,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Did you capture all of that?
Yep,
That's
got
not a
it.
mess.
Good
Yeah,
job.
you did get all of that?
Wes, you're up.
You got 5 minutes.
5 minutes, all right.
Timer started.
I'll fly fast. Update on the Baldwin Street project. DOT's doing their audit. We did ask them to do a review of the working days. They said they would do that. So we'll see what they come back with on that. The storm outlet project, if you've been down there, it's done. I think it looks pretty good. I did my review the other day. I don't really see anything outstanding that I noticed that need to be addressed. So we're preparing the final change order and recommendation for approval unless there's anything you guys have that you have concerns with. I know the one thing that came up was the pavement or the gravel at the end of the road. We could have them do that, or that could be covered through another. That's not something that our ditch contractor really did. just kind of a byproduct of the whole thing.
It is, it's equipment use on a city road, and
Yeah.
I think it's part of our responsibility to fix it, so.
So if you don't wanna have that hold up, then we can make a recommendation to accept and do the final payout on that one. Rock Creek Ridge, I did visit the site, I sent a note to, Mayor, did a visit the site, inspected the site, primarily to determine they were looking to accept, to request acceptance of some of the completed work, sewers in, water's in, some of the storm sewers in, so they were looking to request acceptance of some of those partial things. So I went out and did an inspection. There's not any of those at this point that I would recommend accepting. There's still some punch list items outstanding on several of those. Some of them small, some of them are bigger. We did advise them that they really need to get some erosion control in out there. It is bad. If they were to get complaints to the DNR, they would be in some hot water. So that was our recommendation. We recommended both through the developer himself, as well as our construction observer who's monitoring the construction, had a conversation with the contractor. It doesn't sound like the contractor himself is looking to be back on site until May. That is too late to do any erosion control, in my opinion. He was gonna relay that back to them, and whether they do it or whether they have a sub come in and do it, I don't care, but something needs to be out there because stuff is leaving the site, and that's not good. So, we're kind of following up on that, just to let you know that we're doing that.
Thank you.
Teep study, I saw when he sent me a thing the other day, yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam.
So, I haven't had a chance to look at that yet, but we'll look at that. It looks like they have some pricing for some of the requests that we made last month. I wasn't able to be here in person, but, so we'll do a quick review on that to see how the pricing compares with reasonableness. And then you guys can make the call on whether, looks like we're not gonna get anything for free, but, we'll see if it's, reasonably priced, and then if you guys wanna proceed with that, or proceed on your own, I think you can get a better price elsewhere, we can look at that as we go. Water treatment plant. This is one I believe you guys are working on with Tiana on some of the funding. This one is a project that has a DNR compliance date of August of 2027. Initially, or for a while now, we've been planning to kind of shoot for a 2026 construction, so that we can have it in place with some leeway to make sure everything's working right. So if we're looking to bid it this year and get it constructed this year, our recommendation is to bid it in June. That would require action at the May meeting to start the process for bidding. I sent a kind of a rough schedule to the mayor, kind of lays that out. That's to say if you want to get it done in 2026. If you wanted to extend it into spring of 2027, you know, it could go later. The problem is you start running into, it's a late bid, and if we don't give them the time, it'd almost be better to bid in June and give them until next spring, just so you don't get distorted prices because you're limiting the contractor on work, since a lot of contractors are getting full out for the year.
So I think we're ready. I think we already have our SRF funding taken care of and assigned,
Yep.
so
Yep.
I think it's just a matter of going ahead, adding it to our May meeting and planning
Okay.
on moving forward.
All right.
Does anybody else have any questions or concerns?
Okay, we'll proceed that way. One thing that's on our plate then is to get that construction permit turned into the DNR, so we'll get that turned in. Should be a pretty quick turnaround, hopefully on that. If not, we have other options there, but, all right, we'll proceed with that.
Thank you.
And then, Baldwin Street, County Highway S27, there's some discussion on the gap between the county and our road project. So I've got one of our transportation guys, I think he's scheduled next week to go out and take a look himself and see what he sees, you know, for potential options for full depth patch, partial depth patch, hot patch, you know, cold patch, what options you might have there. Short of, I told him, short of a full reconstruction, because we don't want to do that. But maybe a little bit more than just fill the potholes.
Unless there's farm market grant money.
Yeah, and whether that's a mill and overlay, then at that point, you know, so.
I know that Jasper County did a lot of mill and overlay.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what Jasper was looking, or not Jasper, what Story was looking to do for the stretch north of there,
Yep.
for their own road project, was to do a mill and overlay.
But I guess I take that back. What I saw was they milled, added some juice to it, and threw it back down. They didn't overlay it. It's not a smooth surface like a
relay
overlay.
Oh, okay.
But it's
So, but it's an asphalt cement.
Smoother surface.
Smoother surface.
Worse
Okay.
on a motorcycle.
Well, that's outside, roadways is outside my expertise other than knowing enough to be dangerous, so most of our guys are transportation guys, they do DOT work all the time, so. If there's a technology out there, they generally know about it, so if it's an option, I'll see if they, make sure they looked at it. And there you go, I've kinda burnt through all the stuff with updates, unless you guys have any questions for me.
In the farm to market, I asked Smitha about it. There's not any funding and applications don't open until the fall.
Okay.
And then Army Post Road, I know.
Yes, yeah, you mentioned that when we were talking over here.
So, the only code section I can find is in the Iowa, it's in the Iowa code, but it puts all of the responsibility on the county board of supervisors, which limits it to only
county roads. Basically, there isn't an option for in-town roads.
Nothing identified, which
Right.
my question then would be, if there's nothing identified, I have the authority. So, can I identify?
We just don't call it a level B, maybe we just put up our own signage, just low maintenance road, enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
Kinda custom signage.
Is that your thoughts?
Makes sense to me. I mentioned that I'll bounce it off our guys. We also have a municipal roundtable, like mailing group that we can bounce ideas off of, cause we have people that act like me in the cities all over and who knows what they run into too. So I'll bounce it off that municipal, roundtable and see if anybody else is running into that.
Cause I don't wanna close it. Because
Right.
I still want trail traffic to be able to
Right.
traverse. I want the bikes to be able to come down, I want, you know, side by sides and golf carts, I just wanna limit the vehicles.
Yeah.
So, at least a car.
So maybe just making your own minimum maintenance road, enter
Yep.
at your own risk kind of signage
Yep.
would be the way to go.
Okay.
I'll see if that's something anybody else that isn't county.
That'd be good, thank you. Anybody else have anything for Wes?
Okay.
Thank you.
5 minutes is up.
Good, I made it.
Good.
Derek.
I do not have anything at this point.
Sue.
Anybody's notes written this time around?
Okay. Joel.
I have nothing.
Doug.
Pass.
Good Lord, what's going on today? Okay.
So in the next 2 weeks, I'll be doing this proposal for LL Pelling and Story County Dust Control and something else. Hold on.
Could I retract my previous statement?
Snowblade,
Yes, tractor.
snowplow.
Snowplow.
Does,
Skid loader.
well, do you,
Whatever.
are you still doing sidewalks since we're gonna,
Oh, yeah,
just waiting to
sidewalks.
see how much that bill will be? Or
What bill?
with the bids, since it's close to the 25,000, do you want them to still research what sidewalks
Yeah, I
are on the
wanna-
school?
We were
So
just
this-
gonna do the sidewalks that were listed and then can we move that
Yes.
extra money over
And we can't carry it over. So I need to spend it.
on
So,
my skid loader?
maybe.
Partial payment?
Down payment?
Tire.
They'll take care of,
10%?
they'll do maintenance on the sidewalks, so.
So,
sure.
chances are, what'll happen is I can't get reimbursed all the funds. So, only the sidewalk that is between the sidewalk and curb and house, not the approach, can I get reimbursed from the homeowner for it. So whatever's out here is our responsibility, so it's lost funds anyway.
Okay,
So probably whatever that's where most of the cost is gonna come from. Chances are we'll probably, a lot more of those around the school that can be fixed versus
So
just letting that go.
between the sidewalk and the street.
Yep,
You won't know anything there that could be,
yep. ADA compliance.
okay.
So, yeah, cause at least we should be able to tie most of this into reimbursables. So if we can get another 20,000 back next year, on top of our 25 that we allocated, we can keep this going.
And after 4 or 5 years, we should be able to cut it back.
Yep.
The flow through will still be there.
You had seconds.
Yes. I did go out and look at Chuck, I forget his last name, out there on
Trevor?
North Street.
Is it Trevor Sharp?
And Wes, was a lot of the sediment that we were seeing that left over on the west side towards
Yeah.
North Street?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's primary, that's where most of the drainage goes.
Yep.
So.
I took some pictures, you know, looking.
I
You
sent
got-
Wendy a few of them.
Yeah, and I have several documented pictures as well.
Okay.
Wes, how much of that is city responsibility versus
Um,
developer?
I believe.
My question should be is, I don't wanna be responsible for that.
Right, right. You guys are not an MS4 city, which is a certain population and higher MS4 cities have some obligation to enforce the stormwater ordinances and the NPDS general permit number 2, which is the type of discharge that would cover.
Do they have an active swamp there?
They should, yeah, I don't know if I've
Should.
seen it. They should have an NPDS general permit number 2.
Yep.
They should be listed as the owner and applicant. I don't believe you guys have signed off as a co-permittee because you have no control over the site. So that should be entirely in their liability. I don't believe you have any liability. Now, check your legal counsel. I can't play lawyer.
I just really get
but-
tired of hearing from the DNR, and I don't wanna hear from the DNR.
I don't want to
in
either.
particular.
I don't want to either. That's and
I don't want, from a city perspective.
Yeah.
If they hear from them, that's their problem.
well, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. I mean, there might be a difference between legal liability and slap on the wrist. You guys should have done better.
Yeah.
Kind of liability, but yeah, I don't think you guys do, but you haven't signed off on anything. You haven't obligated yourselves to anything, so it would only be statutory obligations, which you're not an MS4 city, which they would have statutory obligations. I don't believe you guys do, to my knowledge.
I could check WWI and see if they have it listed as
Yeah.
who's on it.
Yeah.
Any
That was
further
the
seconds?
second.
I'm done, Mayor?
Anybody else have seconds?
No, just a new guy.
I do have, we're working on getting a fence down at the dump. We've been a little long on trying to get that taken place. We're not going to put in a chain link as was suggested in the past, cause I don't have any funds to do it. But I think, some, either railroad ties or some sort of, post and with cable. I don't know if anybody's been through on the bike track up here to the entrance to the sewer plant. What we did up there looks pretty nice, so that's where we're gonna be down there.
Electrify it.
Maybe. All we have to do is keep vehicles out. That's the only DNR requirement when you get it done, so I don't have to hear from DNR again. Water, but talked about no, we don't have a meter. We're required to have a meter if we're gonna sell it in bulk, and the cost was $4,200. And I talked about the tractor at $2,400 for replacement or repair. I talked about the streets, getting those re-reviewed, the
Yep.
list with Tony is what we have. That's it.
Any seconds?
No.
Wait a minute, I might have a second.
Go ahead.
I just got a question on the size of that skid loader mower or whatever I'm looking at. It's between the building and the light post, right, is mostly what that
Yep, that's the swap.
step and the, yeah.
I think it's 48 inches is what they have to fit through. And could be upwards of 50. Tony
Go
will have more
Go to the
information.
narrowest.
Yeah.
6 inches. I'm done.
Sue?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Further discussion? Joel?
Yes.
Doug? Derek?
Yes.
Sue?
Yeah.
Ken?
Yes.
Alright, you're adjourned.